Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I decided to share with you guys a really delicious lamb stew recipe. So what I have here is some lamb that I've gone ahead and chopped up into cubes. I've washed it and then I went ahead and put some of my green seasoning on the top of it and I've let it marinate for about 1 to 2 hours in my fridge. But if you wanted, you could let it marinate overnight. I also have some chopped onion, some chopped bell peppers, and you can use whatever color you'd like. I also have some chopped carrots, some sliced scallions, some hot pepper, and some garlic. And then for my seasonings, I have some adobo or all-purpose seasoning. I have some black pepper, as well as some salt to taste. And of course, make sure to go into the description box down below, and I will have all of the ingredients and measurements listed down there for you guys. First step in making the lamb stew is to go ahead and start browning all of our meat. So in my Dutch oven here, I've heated up some oil. You can go ahead and use olive oil or any other type of oil that you'd like. And I have it on a high heat, and what I'm going to do is just lay all of my pieces of lamb into the bottom of the pot so this way they can start to brown. Now you're going to probably want to do this in batches so this way you could get the lamb really nice and brown on all sides. If you were to just pour all of the lamb in here at once, then the lamb's going to start to release all of its juices and it's not going to brown properly. So I'm going to put this first batch in and then I'm going to go ahead and let that brown, and I'm going to show you guys what that looks like when it's ready to flip and then take out of the pot. The meat has been on this side for about 1 minute now, and as you guys can see, the outside is really nice and brown and almost crispy. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is flip all of these pieces of meat, and I'm going to let them cook for an additional 1 to 2 minutes on the other side, just until that side gets brown. Once that side gets brown, I'm going to go ahead and empty these pieces onto a plate, and then I'm going to go ahead and brown the rest of my lamb pieces in about another 1 to 2 batches. It just depends on how much meat you have. So I'm going to finish browning all of this meat and then I'm going to set it aside and I'm going to show you guys what to do next. I finished browning all of my lamb and I went ahead and I just set it aside. You guys are going to notice that this pot has all of these little brown bits at the bottom. You want to make sure to keep all of these bits as well as all of the drippings, because all of that is just added flavor to your stew. So what you're going to want to do is just go ahead and add in all of your garlic, your chopped hot pepper, as well as your chopped onion. And at this point, I'm just going to give it a stir, and I'm going to let these ingredients cook for about 1 to 2 minutes, or just until the onions and the garlic start to turn translucent. You're going to start to smell all of the pepper and the garlic as well, and you're going to notice that all of these brown bits start to come up from the bottom. So I'm going to let these cook, and then I'm going to show you guys the next step. After about 2 minutes, this is what your onions should look like. They're nice and translucent, so I'm going to go ahead and add in all of my bell peppers. And at this point, I'm just going to give them a quick mix, and I'm going to allow them to cook for about another 2 minutes, just until they start to get a little translucent. After another 2 minutes, your veggies should be really nice and brown, just as you guys see right here. And at this point, it's time to go ahead and add in all of your carrots. And I'm going to let them fry up with these veggies just until they get a little softened as well. As well as your carrots, you want to go ahead and add in your scallions one time and just give it a quick mix and let these cook for about another 2 minutes. Once you see all of your carrots start to soften up a little bit, it's time to go ahead and add in all of your all-purpose seasoning or your adobo and some black pepper. Now both of these ingredients totally depend on your taste, so go ahead and add in as much or as little as you would like. Just want to stir these around, get all of those flavors married together, and then at this point we're going to start introducing the lamb back into the pot. So you just want to pour in all of that lamb and all those beautiful juices that have released from it. Remember, I said all of that is flavor, so please do not waste any of it. Once you put it into the pot, you're going to go ahead and cook this for about 4 to 5 minutes. I really want all of these flavors just to come together before I add in all of that water. So what I'm going to do before I let this fry up actually is I'm going to add in some salt. Now this is salt to taste, so make sure you add it as per your taste. And I'm just going to stir this around. I'm going to let it cook for about 45 minutes and I'm going to come back and show you guys what it looks like. After 5 minutes, and once that lamb has had a chance to fry up with all of those veggies, it's time to go ahead and cover the whole mixture with water. Now I'm adding all of this water because, as you guys may know, lamb is pretty tough, so I need to add in enough water so it could soak into that meat and make it very tender. Also, that water will evaporate by the end of the cooking process, so do not worry if it looks like too much water. I'm going to go ahead and cover my Dutch oven now, and I'm going to pop this whole mixture into the oven at 350 degrees for about an hour, and then after an hour I'm going to pull it out and check on the meat and see if it needs any longer in the oven. Now if you didn't have a Dutch oven, what you could do is just keep cooking this mixture over the stove and it'll be perfectly fine as well. My meat has been in the oven for exactly an hour now, and I just want to show you guys what it looks like. So what you're going to want to do is test out one of your pieces of meat, just like you see I'm doing here. And as you guys can see, it's a little hard still. It's not as tender as I wanted. So I'm going to leave it to cook for another 30 to 45 minutes, and then I'm going to show you guys the final product. I've had my stew cooking in the oven for exactly 2 hours now, and the meat is exactly as soft as I want it. It's really nice and tender, but I did find that there's just a little too much water in the pot for my liking, so I went ahead and I just took it out of the oven and put it on top of the stove on a really high heat, and I'm just going to let this thicken up a bit. So I'm going to let that cook for a little, and then I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. It's been about 12 minutes now since I put the stew on the stove to thicken up, and as you guys can see, that gravy looks really nice and rich now. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is just show you guys what one of these pieces of meat looks like. It's really nice and tender. As you guys can see when I just mush it with that fork, it's really soft, and that's exactly how you want it. So I'm going to go ahead and serve this with some cook-up rice today, but you could go ahead and serve this with plain rice. You could even serve it with roti. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Please go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you have not done so yet. And please don't forget to comment down below on what you guys would like me to make next. Or if you tried this dish, just tell me what you guys think of it. Once again, thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you guys again with another one of my recipes.